Hey guys, it's Reet. What's up? I hope you're good. So today's video is my first witchy book review. In a past video, I told you what I had in my witchy book collection, if I can say it like that. But I can only talk to you briefly about each book. So I'm gonna review the book I went through and through and that I will either loved or not. That's why it's a review. But today's video is about The Witch's Journal, which is right here, by Celine Silverwind. So it literally said charm, spells, potion, and enchantment, but it's so much more than that. As a beginner, it was one of the first books I bought, and it was just so amazing. So I'm gonna go through the table of content just to tell you the big things. So first of all, the first part, there's magical correspondences, then there's magical and divinatory tools, then spells, charms, and potions. We're gonna go through the book together. So when we start, there's just they're talking about how the book is done and how to use it. First we have what is magic and types of magics, which are Wicca, paganism is just a good thing, and then ethics of witchcraft. So there's the law of three we can read, which I don't follow any of these, but I do believe in karma, but I don't follow the law of three or anything, but that's personal. And then we go into magical correspondences. So as a beginner, the magical correspondences were, it's where I was starting. It was what does this mean? What about this? What about that? So when we start, we have colors. So first of all, there's these two pages. There's incorporating colors into spells and chakra colors. And then we get into these beautiful pages. There's two of them. So, yeah. There's these two pages too, which there's every color. And there's the day, the planet, the signs, and everything like that. And then correspondences, and then some red flowers and red stones. So there's this for every color. So red, pink, orange, yellow, gold, silver, green, blue, purple, brown, black, and white. So it's really most you can want to work with. And then there's some stones and crystals, and it's really the not most used, but because there's not all the most used. There's not amethyst, but there's quartz, agate, carnelian, lapis lazuli, topaz, amber, and onyx. And there's, a good base of these, but again, it's not all of the crystals. But there's also incorporating stones into magic, so jewelries and stuff like that. But that's just the first thing. And then some herbs. I really love how the book is made. It is very beautiful. So again, incorporating them into spells. And then we have our vesting herbs, which is good. And then we have some herbs: rosemary, thyme, lavender, mugwort, cedar, sandalwood, clickfoil, cinnamon, rose, patchouli, frankincense, jasmine, and then there's a recipe for rose and jasmine oils, or no, there's things about them. So it's really good for beginners. It really helped me through and through. And after that, it's called The Magic of the Heavens, but it is the planets. So there's, for example, the sun, and then the magical associations, and then there's that for every planet. And again, the pages are so beautiful. I love this book. I believe I got it on Amazon, so it's good resource. You can go get it. On the back it says £12.99. I know. Oh, I was gonna look for my phone. I'm filming with it, but I'm gonna put the price I paid right here. It's in Canadian dollars, so yeah. And then there's things about the moon, because using the moon, and then planetary days and hours, which I don't really use, but it's nice to have it if, like, you want to work with it. That's amazing. And then when to avoid magic. I don't avoid magic because I do some in my day-to-day life. But, like Mercury retrograde, things to avoid and to do when it's in retrograde, moon voids, other retrogrades. And then there's divine magic. Before I go into this, when you're a beginner, a baby witch, don't go right into deities. I mean, you can worship them, but don't go straight in to work with deities. Hecate came to me after about a year of starting my journey, and she's still with me. She's my matron. But then, like, the others came to me after like a year and a half had passed. Now I have Hecate, Freya, Dionysus, Hades, and Persephone. Well, Persephone, and then Hades was like, "Hey, can I have some love and be with my wife?" And I was like, "Why not?" But if you're a baby witch, don't go right into divine magic. But then there's like a thing about like witch pantheon. Some witches are eclectic, which means they work with whichever deity, and then like depending on your heritage, you can do that, and like you can go with one pantheon, more than one. Like have Greek deities, and then there's Freya, who was like, "Hey, what's up?" And like choosing a pantheon to work with, you only want to go one, and then it goes into different pantheons. So there's the Celtic deities, and there's Teutonic deities. There's really like, then there's Egyptian deities, Greek and Roman deities are together because if you don't know, Romans just copied the Greek with deities, but also like with art. Yeah, Roman just took Greek things and was like, that's ours now. For example, the Greek deities, like Greek and Roman, like Zeus is Jupiter, Hermes is Mercury, Eris is Mars, and like Dionysus is Bacchus, So Greek and Roman are together, and then there's Chinese deities, African deities, Hindu deities, there's just all of those. So if you really go with your where you're from and everything, you can just go like, oh, I have ancestors from, I don't know, Celtic countries. You can just go from there, and it was like, oh, nice. So, So that was, they call it chapter 1, but I call it part 1. I don't know why I called it part 1, but yeah. And then we go into magical tools and divination. So, like, it's a very beautiful book. And it's very, like, hardcover, very heavy, but it is only, I say only, but 141 pages, and they're really like thick pages, so it can really last a while. So yeah, magical and divinatory tools. They start with types of tools, so major tools, wise tools, altar and attire, divinatory tools. They just explain the types of tool, and then consecrating tools, so cleansing them and consecration rituals. And then they go into candles. So they talk about making rolled candles, making dipped candles, and then candles and colors. But the only thing I don't like in the candle like color is that they put, for example, like one thing per candle color. But with how much stuff there's in the color correspondences, I think it's okay that they did that for that part. If they only did that and there was no color correspondences, it would be like, ugh, is red only for love, really? Like, you can use it for other thing. I don't have any that comes to my mind right now, but, you can use for other stuff. And then you go into the atame, how to find it, and uses, and then you go into your wand. Making your wand, one characteristic. I'm just going to show you my wand. Wands can be either bought or made, but people are like, yeah, it's better if you make them. This is my wand. It's just a branch, And I attached some leaves to it because I thought it would be nice because I love autumn. And then I just put a little blue ribbon. And a little blue thread. And that's my wand. So for wands, you don't have to go like searching high and low and get like a big quartz wand and just deck it out. Like you can if you want, but you don't have to. Anyways, yeah, to talk like about wands. And then the chalice. There's chalice, so, and then there's the cauldron. Performing cauldron spells, legendary Celtic cauldrons and lores. Then there's brooms, uses and how to make them. And there's the minor tools. So, a white-handled knife, the bell, the pentacle, parchment paper, and then the unusual items. So there is hawk feathers, witch balls, witch bottles, lodestones, puppets, cemetery dirt, skeleton key, dragon's blood ink, seed pot rattle. There's just like, hey, you maybe want to look at these if you feel like you want one of these. For example, I don't have a bell, but I want one, but, maybe one day because money is hard in this quarantine. And then they go about altars. So, purpose of the altar. They talk about altars for the dead. Positioning in the altar. Outdoor altars. Altar arrangement, which, yes, good if you want to go with the traditional altar arrangement, but you don't have to. That's one of the things I'm like, you don't have to invite the elements while making your altar. Like, my altar is Dionysus, Hecate, and, like, then there's, like, on there, like, I'll do a haul when I have a haul and a tour when I have a thing, but, like, Hecate, Hades and Persephone, Freya, and then mini altar. Like, you don't have to do everything like it says. For example, it says, the goddess symbol, the god symbol, stone to represent on the north, represent the earth, spell candle, atme, and like just everything. And like you don't have to. And altar cloths, you don't have to have them. I just love how altar cloths look, so I have them. But inviting the element and blessing your altar, you don't have to. Like, I cleanse my altar instead of like invite the element and bless it, like, because I'm just a witch, not a Wiccan. But what's good is that they talk about both witch and Wiccan, and they're not like, you have to make your altar like that. They're like, yeah, that's traditional. So then, preparing for divination. Meditating, divination spell, which I don't do. Well, I meditate, but I don't do a divination spell. And then we go about tarot, which I started my journey with tarot, wanting to get into Wicca, and then I was like, nah, just witchcraft, but my story is a whole other video. But tarot, about choosing the deck, performing a reading, and then, I love this, there's just the cards and what they mean in, like, a couple words. Like, well, the major. And, like, meaning the suits. So, swords, one, coins. Then you have the runes. They tell you about making runes, reading runes, and then you have, like, the rune set and what they mean. Then scrying, like the tools you can have, like crystal balls, scrying mirrors, instant smoke or flame, herb scrying, how to make a scrying mirror, how to scry, and then they go into astrology. So, zodiac signs, astrological horoscopes. Oh my god, I never said that word in English. Your natal chart, the houses, and then the Western astrology, and the Chinese astrology. So there's these, which just like what they mostly mean. For example, dragon, successful and independent. If we go to Pisces, compassionate, inclusive, and sensitive. Like, there's a couple of words. And then they go into numerology, which I want to learn about, but I'm already trying to learn way too much and read way too many books during this quarantine, and I'm starting school again, like next week, like doing online schooling. So numerology, the name numbers, the birth numbers, and then you go into spell, charms, and potions, which are easy ones. So there's, spell words, types of spells, charms, and potions, what they are. And then magic circle, casting a circle, opening a circle, calling cards, releasing a card, and closing a circle. Which I don't do, because, mostly they're for protection, but I do protection rituals and cleansing a lot, and I do it in this corner right here. That's where my altar is. So, like, I do a lot of that, like, doing that. So, yeah, whatever. Spell ingredients, and, like, for example, ambition, carry, and men's issues, the day, the planet, the deities, zodiac sign, elements, colors, tones, herbs, metals, and body parts. And there's that for a lot of them. Like, all of this are these correspondences and ingredients. And I love that it's written. Refer to chapter 1, page 14 to 53 for more in-depth information about the ingredients. Like, they refer you to, like, yeah, maybe you're like, why though? And you can go and see that. And then manifesting spells. So, manifesting with herbs, power of positive thinking, herb pouches, manifesting goals, manifesting with stones, manifesting gods and goddesses, and thanking deities, basic manifesting spell, really basic and easy things, and then banishing spells. So there's banishing goals, stones, pentacle, herbs, banishing negativity, like what you will need and how to do it, banishing a harmful person, the binding puppet, the colors, and then go into love spells. For myself, I don't really think love magic is ethic, except if you're already in love with the person, or you don't make the person falling in love. Like, if you are already in love and you want to, I don't know, you keep fighting and you want to help that, you can do it. Okay, then there's love gods, goddesses, spells to meet your perfect partner, dreaming of your future husband, love charm, love stones, magic of food, herbs, and then beauty spells, which I want to get more into, but I'm not yet. I have so many things I want to research. But yeah, mythological beauties, beauty glamour, folk beauty practice, beauty stones, beauty colors, weight loss charms, appearance charm, beauty gods, beauty goddesses, weight loss spell, healing spells, so healing methods, healing gods, goddesses, herbs, how to mend a broken heart, heal with stone, healing stones, well, like how to heal with them and like the stones, folk healing tradition, healing charm, house blessing spell, and then friendship spells. So there's gods, goddesses again, stones, herbs, a charm, how to repair friendship. So, it just goes like over the same thing, like, the god, the goddesses, herbs, and stones. It's in every single one. This one is career spell, so a spell for a new job or promotion. Prosperity spells, again, god, goddesses, stones, herbs that are also symbols. And they spell. And then, like, death charm, focus, prosperity, tradition, spell for raise. There's just, like, a lot. And then there's travel spells. Again, like, all the same things. And then for smooth throat. Love potions. Healing potions. Like, now we're into potions, obviously. Confidence and career. Prosperity. Like, they talk about, like, teas and lotions and potions, and that is the end. So it's a very complete book with like a lot of imagery. So it doesn't feel like you're only reading and there's nothing more. Like it has imagery and just I love how it is. Like look at that. So yeah, it's a very good book for beginners, and I'm very happy that I had it when I started. I just saw it's written based on Wiccan philosophy about the practical guide. So see, it's about Wiccan philosophy. So there's things like casting a circle and traditional altars and things like that I don't do because I'm only into witchcraft. Even though I take some things of Wicca and put it in my witchcraft because I'm eclectic, but just read it, take what you want from it, but like the correspondences are amazing, and then like the charms and potions, like maybe you don't do it 100% like that, but it can give you ideas like, oh yeah, I could add this. So yeah, it's a very good book, recommended, 10 out of 10, I love it. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye! So I just ended the video, and I just thought about something while putting my wand back. It is also a book that I lent to my boyfriend's best friend, who is also a witch, because she wanted to get more, like, she wanted to get back into it. So that's, if you want to get back into it, or if you just want to start, it's a very, very good book. So that's all I wanted to add.